ब्रह्मा विद्युषावैः Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of Sri Guruji, Gurudev, all the Kriya Masters, all the sages and saints, all the gods and goddesses, and I bow to all of you. I especially pray to Sri Guruji to think through me, speak through me, and act through me. Jai Guru. So we are on the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we are to the almost at the end of 4th chapter, which is also called as Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So we had, when Prashant Baba, where we finished 38, I think so. Is it?
Yes, Baba. Yes, Baba.
Yeah. We'll just have a look at the 36 and 38 verse, and then we'll go to 39. So from the verse 35 to 37, Lord talked about what is the benefits of Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. If you remember, the first thing in the 35th verse, he said Mohanasa. Let me say that verse with you. Yathei dhamsi samidhagni bhasmat kuru tirjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. So this one, he started from 35th verse. Let's look at the 35th verse to go through it so that we'll remember what is the benefits Lord has talked about. इसलिए यत् ज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोह एवं यास्यसि पांडवः येन भूतान्यशेषेण रक्षसात्मा न्यथो महि. So what he is talked about here, the two things Lord has talked about. One is mohanasa, punarmoha evam yasyasi. It will be get out. You will get what you will no punarmoha. Now you will not get what moha. Moha is delusion. Delusion about what? Yes, delusion about what Lord is talking about. Yes, anybody? What delusion Lord is talking about here?
Ignorance of true self?
Yeah, ignorance of a true self. So those conflicts arising out of that, our raga dvesa takes over. Then the conflicts also come into our life. Because we saw in case of Arjuna, there was a conflict between Sadharana Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. Because Sadharana Dharma says that you should not kill anybody, you should not harm anybody. Then Vishesha Dharma, because he is the chief of the Pandava army, he had a particular role to play. So there was a conflict. Why? Because there is a conflict. Because once we do not know or we do not have that Atma Jnana, there is a likelihood that this sort of conflicts or more delusions will come. Because see the answer, why we are saying that to learn Atma Jnanam is necessary, because from the 2nd chapter onwards, when the Lord started his teaching, the first thing he's talked about is Atma Jnana. What is the nature of Atman, our true self? So his teaching was not how to fight the war, where to put himself, which one to attack. That was not the point. The first thing he tried to teach him is Atma Jnana. So that itself shows that what is necessary to have to get rid of these conflicts in life. And that's why this Atma Jnanam is very much necessary. That's why he said, Yat Gyatva. Once you know this. So if you know this, then what will happen? Because the activities which you will perform, you will not perform because of your likes and dislikes. What you will do, you will do it as an offering to the Lord or offering to the environment, to the whole creation, so that you are in tune with the creation. Not because I like something I do not like, I will restrain from it. No. Whatever your duty, you have to perform it. So that means you are doing it as an offering to the Lord. So this is where the Karma Yoga comes into picture. And it all started from the moha of Arjuna. The first chapter, he just talking about what is his confusion is all about. And then he was looking for a solution. He was trying to find a solution by himself, which he was unable to do. And then he surrenders to the Lord, saying that Sishyastam, I am now your disciple, please advise. And the first thing Lord is talked about in the second chapter, do you remember? First he talked about the nature of Atman. Because that is where from the cause of delusion is coming. That's why after teaching this, now in the verse 35, Lord is saying, yeah, Atma. That means now that you know it, what will happen? Punar moha no yasyasi. The delusion is not going to come. These conflicts in life will not come. That is one. Second, he said, Ena bhutan asheshana drakhyasa atmane ti mai. So here what he's saying, Lord is saying, you will see, you will see, what you will see? Atmani, within me. And what you will see? Yourself. That means Atmani, you will see yourself. That is Yatha. That means that is Mai, in me. So what is saying that once you have this, Moha is not there. So what is your vision now? When you look at this world, what is your vision? He's saying, you will see your Atman in everything. Because it's not limited to your body, mind, intellect. So you are seeing the Atmani, yours Atmani, wherever you are looking at, you are seeing yourself. Because that is the Brahman, that is our real nature. And also Lord is saying, you will also, that means he's saying, in Atmani, Yatha Mai. That means in me also you will see yourself. That means that is Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam. That is also you will be able to observe when you look at the world, because it is not separate from you. The Lord is not separate from you. The creation is not separate from you. All are shared existence. Shared awareness is there. And that is Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam. So in the 35th verse, Lord talked about two benefits. One is Punarmohana Yasyasi, you will not have delusion anymore. And second is Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam, you will have. Let's look at the verse 36. 36, what he said? Api chedasi papebhya sarvebhya papakrutam. So what will happen? All your papas, whatever you would have done, papa krutam, whatever papas you have committed, sarvebhya, all. And that will be, how it will come? He said, jnana plabena. In the boat of the knowledge, atma jnanam, then you will be brunjinam sattari. Brunjinam. Brunjinam means the sea of samsara. You will be able to santarishyasi, you will be able to pass on, will be crossed over. So what will also this will do? The first thing he said mohanasaha. Second he said jivatma paramatma aikyam. Then third thing he is talking about all papas
Aikyam.
will be destroyed or wiped clean. Okay. Now let's go to 37. In the 37, he said, Yathai samidhamni bhasmasat kurutirjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. So now in the 37th verse, in the 36th verse, he said, all your papa karmas and the sinful acts will be burnt. Now here he is saying all karma phalas, karmas bhasmasat, it will be destroyed or it will be burned into ashes. But what is karmani? Karmani is not going to be burnt, but karma phala, Lord is talking about the karma phala. Whatever actions you are doing it, so all will be burned to ashes. So what is the difference we have talked about in the 36th verse? Lord talked about that all your sinful acts will be burnt. Now he is saying all your karmas will be burnt. So what is the difference we had discussed? What do you feel? What is the difference here? Yes.
Sanchit karma gets burnt, and what
Huh.
is prarabdha that we will live through.
Anybody else? What is the 36th verse? What is said in context of 36th verse? What is saying in 37th verse? In the 36th verse, he said, "Your yes." Yes, somebody is trying to say no. Okay.
Yeah, Baba, it is the same what is said, that one is only the sinful act, another is all the action. So Sanchit
Yes, that's correct.
will
That's the
not
difference.
accrue. Yeah.
That's the difference. So in the 36th verse, Lord is talked about that all your sinful papam will be burnt to ashes, or you will be able to cross over the sea of samsara. But then what happened in the case of the 37th verse, Lord is saying all your karma phalas will be destroyed. That means including, because karma phalas either it can be papam or punya. Either it will result in happiness for you, that is punya, or papam, which is result in suffering for you or sorrow for you. So there are two kinds of results will be there. Now in the 36th verse, he said all the sinful acts results. That means the sorrows, that sorrowful action, that results will be all burnt. But here he is saying all karma. That means including your punya karma is also be burnt. So why your punya karma will be burnt? So how it is happy? He is going to be happy? Tell me. This is something positive. He should enjoy it. Why he should be burnt? And why one should be happy about it?
Because it will be out of the cycle of life and birth.
Correct.
So
Yeah, because in case of sinful activities, that karma follows, that means it fructifies immediately. That means you are going to suffer it in this life or next life. But in case of punyam, what is happening? You will go to some different lokas where you enjoy your life. Again, you will come back to the samsara. Again, you have to live through all these papas and punyas because you have to live now. And once you started living in, what is the guarantee that the next karma you do, that the karma phala which will accrue, it will be punyam and not papa? Because the moment you live in this world, then whatever activities you will be engaged in, it will bring in result. Because that result can be papam or punyam. So what that means, what is there? In case of papam, you are going to suffer, finish. But in case of punya, what is happening? It is only taking a little longer route for the suffering to come back to you. Because you will enjoy, then again you will live in this world, then the activities you will be engaged in, and some will bring in papam, some will bring in punya. And assuming that you are only getting punya, but then what is happening? You are again going to come back to this world. And there can be situations where you may commit again papa, then you will suffer. And papa itself, living itself in the samsara, is also dukkha, in the sense that because you are not coming out of the cycle of life and death. That means your identification of the body continues. The moment you have the identification of the body, it has its own limitations. And we saw the 6 types of modifications is there. So you are bound to suffer. So here Lord talked about in the 37th verse, both your papa and punya karma all will be burnt. So this is one we had. Then we had in the 38th verse. So this is from the 15th verse to 37th verse. So Lord talked about what is the benefits of karma. What is the benefits? Mohanasaha, Jiva, Iswara, Aikyam, Aikyam, Darshanam. Actually, he sees. He said, you will see yourself and you will see yourself in me. So Darshanam is. But it's not only theoretically, you will be able to absorb it, you will be able to perceive it, you will be able to live it because you have that jnana. So now you will live it. Then he said 36th verse, it is papanasam, and in the 37th verse, he said is karmanasam. So this is what we have. In 38th verse also we finished. Then from 38th verse onwards till the 42nd to the last verse, Lord is talking about certain sadhanas. He is talking about on this karma yoga. Let's look at it, this one. Nahi jnanena sadrusam pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing as purifying as karma yoga. Jnana means the Atma Jnana. Then Tat Swayam Yoga Sansidha. So what will happen? Once that person who gets this Yoga Sansidha, he is established in yoga, Kale Natmani Bindati. So in time, in course of time, he will be able to find the ultimate goal. So now what he's saying that if you have this jnanam, then what will happen? You will be established in yoga, yoga sanstidha. So practice yoga. Then what yoga he is talking about here mostly? It is talking about here karma yoga and upasana yoga. So these you are going to practice. Then what will happen? Then you go to the jnanam. Then when you get that jnanam, so what will happen? You will be free from the samsara. So here the Lord is talking about that this is a purifying effect. We had seen what are the other purifying acts are there in our scriptures. One is, this we are going to. How many of you registered for what is that? For that bath we are going to Ganges,
Mahakumbh Mela.
Kumbh Mela. So that is also why you take a bath in the Ganges during the time of Kumbh, because it is purifies you. Correct. Then you have a lot of prayashita karmas. So many pujas. Then you do observe, or some of the fastings and all you observe. So that is also have a purifying nature they have. That means they will purify it. So one is there. So we have to understand here. When you are saying that it is going to purify you, what will happen? Does it going to take away your karma phala?
No, Baba, this will be only exterior.
What
the
it
light.
does is, what it does, it is gives you the ability to take it with samatva. Because even if I am going through a difficult period, because previously what was happening, if the activities is giving me happiness, I am happy. If it is not giving me happiness, I am unhappy about it. So my success of a particular activities or failure in that is whether it is bringing me happiness or unhappiness. So that was the yardstick. Now what is happening? Once you are into karma yoga, with backed by jnanam, then what is happening? What is the success in a particular act is whether you are able to maintain your samatvam. Are you getting it? Not the success or failure in the act itself. What is happening in your mental state? Is it stable? Are you able to maintain samatvam? Whether even if you are successful, you are not overtly, happy and going blah blah blah. You are going and announcing to the whole world, or if you are not successful and you are totally, down and out, you are suffering, mental sufferings are there. Is if going through that, that is not going to happen once you are established in jnana karma sannyasa. So what it will ensure that samatva, and that becomes the yardstick for a yogi to understand whether he is established in the yoga or not in the success or failure what he achieves in a particular act. This is what he said. So that is in the purifying process. This is what it purifies. It purifies our attitude, our mental attitude to the results of the actions. No more success and failure is defining my success and failure in an act, but what is success or failure in the act is whether I am able to maintain samatvam when I am faced with the result of that particular action. So that is what it Lord is saying. So jnana sadrisham pavitram.
Baba, one question.
Yeah.
Baba, so after getting this knowledge, which I think most of the people know, I don't know whether it will be termed as knowledge, but at least we know what, with thanks to you, what you are teaching, we are understanding. But only keeping samanatvam is our application of this teaching?
Yeah, samatvam, yes. Whether you are successful or not, because that is where it is. Because if you have the calmness of mind, you will have concentration and you will be able to, and because you are doing it for the Ishvara. So you will put in, if you also think that I am doing it for a Guruji or Gurudev and all, that the efforts you will put in is much more than intensity will be there. But then whatever results is going to come, you are not going to be happy or unhappy about it, whether it is successful or not, because we are having the prasad buddhi also, because that part of the karma yoga. So once you have that, then what is happening? You are not overtly anxious about the future, because when we are anxious about the future, our present act itself gets affected, because you are always, our mind is in the result. What happened? Anxiety is there. That means you are living in the future. That's a beautifully Gurudev said. And when you are regretting, that means you are in the past. You are living in the past. That means something has happened. You are regret. That means you are living in the past. If you are anxious about the future, you are living in the future. But live in the present. How you will live in the present? Because if you concentrate fully on whatever activities you are doing now, and that you will be able to do once you have this karma yogi or jnana yogi. Once you become, then the result is going to affect you. So you will not bother what happened in the past or what is going to happen in the future. Yes, Deepak Baba, you raised your hand.
Baba, you answered it, but just keeping that one. Baba, that means the only application is the change in the thought process.
Absolutely. Mental process. That's it.
But Baba,
Activity same.
Baba, even if we do that, to be honest, we do that, but in few minutes it's gone. Even if we think, yes, we are doing it for a guru, we are doing it for this, we are doing for the Lord, we are. After a few, not even minute, I think it lasts. After a few 1 or 2 minutes, it goes.
So that is a beautiful. Yesterday, there is a beautiful story. I was going through it. In Kerala, There is a particular temple where 60 or 70 of the elephants have been they are doing all kinds of activities uh, pertaining to the Lord. Like they have to give the bath, they will bring the flower. Elephants, you can imagine how big they are. Okay. So the training process they were showing that from the very beginning of the when the baby elephant comes, immediately they put the chain and they start telling the kid, do this, and when he does this, then they give the food. And whatever they want, then they have to do some activities, then they are rewarded. So they know that they cannot go. And whenever, because the chain is there, at that time the chain is little strong for a baby elephant. So baby elephants find that he cannot free himself out of the chain. And then the only way he can, get whatever he wants, only through by submitting to this Mahut. So when he becomes big by the time, because of the persistent activity, same way it is going on, is repeated. And when he becomes big, that chain, that little chain, he can just pull it and it will snap. But because now he is so much attuned to it, he feels that the chain is still strong. He cannot break away, and whatever he wants, he has to perform as per the Mahut. So this habit, we have to create that, because what has happened, the knowledge. That's why they said Jnana, Vijnana, and Pragyana. We know this 10 plus, we were looking at that example. We know that the baby knows now 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 minus 10 is 10. But can you give the baby now 100 dirhams or real and go and buy this vegetable? He will not be utilize this knowledge. So similarly, this knowledge we have got it, but it has not become our knowledge. That once I am tuned to it, it has become second nature to me. Then I am not thinking that whether how much of money, because 100 dirhams you were there, okay, I've got $10, this I purchased, that is $20, that is $30. So it's automatically, you are not even thinking that how much you are thinking and standing and adding or subtracting. It mentally is going on. So similarly, once you start practicing it, we will forget, then again we come back, again we'll forget, again we'll come back, and it will be all coming after the act. Oh, why before the act I didn't do it? Ishwara Pranabhava was not there. When the Prasada Buddhi was supposed to be there, I got upset about it. And then later we think, oh, I am supposed to be not upset by this. Then you pull yourself up. But it is always happening after the act. That was my granddaughter was beautifully said. He said, her mother said, my daughter said, that how come every time you are committing the same mistake, even if I've repeatedly I'm advising you not to do it and you are doing it. So once they were coming back from the school in the car, she's saying, mommy, I remember it, but I remember it after the act. Before the act, I cannot remember it. It's not coming. So exactly that is the same problem for all of us. We always remember the words of the scriptures and our guru only after. But once we start practicing it, maybe, it will come before the act. Before even the thought process starts going in that direction, for engaging in any action, that I have to have Ishwara Pranavava. Let me have it. And then naturally, if you're doing Ishwara Pranabhava, Prasad Buddhi automatically will follow. So we have to, that's why that is the call as Shravana, Mananam, and Nididhyasana. This is the Shravana stage now. We are learning it. Then is Mananam, where there will be doubts will be there. The questions will come in the mind. So we have to resolve those questions. then once all these doubts are gone, because everything, whatever we are now learning in the scriptures and all, there is no way one can verify it. Most of the things that you will be liberated, you will not have any more life. Who knows? This is Shraddha, this is on faith. Our gurus are saying, okay, this you do, you will be able to overcome it. They are saying, we are just believing, that's why we are doing it with Shraddha. So what will happen once we start living it, and the only thing, if this will come, then he's saying, okay, now Lord will say, okay, you do this, you will be safe realized. What is the guarantee? Once you are dead, you cannot also catch the Lord. Even if you are here, you cannot catch, or even if you guru, you cannot catch. So then what happens? So what is the benefit I will get? How is the guarantee that I will not have any bump? So that's why that samatvam is the immediate result. You will be able to perceive it, you will be able to enjoy it. That's the only thing, which is practical thing which you will be able to enjoy. All others are ifs and buts. Who knows? Shraddha is there, of course, which Guruji is saying, because they have also walked this path. So I have faith that what they are saying is correct. What the scripture is saying is correct. But the doubt may also be there sometimes. Is it true? But what happened? That samatvam which is come, that is the immediate result which you will be able to perceive it. You will be able to enjoy it. So actually, if you look at it, that is the best thing one can happen. If you and when spiritually and we are spiritually growing, that is the measurement that whether we are really making any progress or not. So this is now Shravan, then you have to go Mananam, then Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is the stage where you are making it your own. That is called Pragyana. So in and through those actions, you are utilizing your body mind. But at the back, you know that I am this Satchidan Ananda Swarupa. Body and mind is only an instrument. Like Ramana Maharishi. All the time, whenever he was saying, whatever he was doing, that focus that they are totally established in the Satchidan Ananda Swarupa. But still he was teaching, still he was saying Arunachala is the Lord Shiva. He was doing it. That Dvaita Bhava is there. Otherwise, how you will do the puja? But in and through that, he knows who he really is. So that is the stage of Nididhyasanam. From Nididhyasanam, you come to that stage where you are established in that. So that's why he's saying Yoga Sansiddha. Sansiddha is firmly established. Okay. So this is what he said. We have seen that. So let's go to the verse 39. This is the verse we have to take it today. So, Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tatpara sayantrediyaha jnanam labdha param santim achirena adhigacchati. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tatparaha sayantrediyaha. So here Lord is talking about also what is the practices a seeker has to undertake. The first thing he's saying, he has to have Shraddha. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam. Only a Shraddhavan can do it. Nobody else can do it. Why is giving importance to Shraddhavan here? Because you have to have, as we were just discussing, you have to have a working faith in the validity of the scriptures and also the teachings of your guru. If you do not have that working faith, then what will happen? You will always doubt whether it's true. And whenever also, whatever you are practicing, you practice week, undertake. If we are not successful, we will not doubt our ability. We will doubt whether the whole thing is correct. What my scripture is saying, whether it is correct, whether what my guru is saying, whether it is correct, because there is always a temptation to question that. So that's why you have to have a Shraddha. They said when you are going to the physics class and a particular theory is being taught, you have no clue about that, but you are accepting that theory is correct. Your teacher, whatever he is going to teach or he is teaching, is correct. He is correct. The teaching is correct. The teacher is correct. If I am not getting it, so maybe there is some lacuna in me. Let me concentrate. Let me try to get it. So this is called working faith you want to have. So that is what we have to have. It's not that questioning is totally prohibited because you are in a mononam stage. Whether when you have a reasonable doubt, you raise the questions because all our scriptures are questions are the best on the writings are mostly on the questions and answers. So you have the right to ask questions. But with the fact that what the scripture is saying is correct. Am I not getting it? If I'm not getting it, ask questions. But we were not dismissing the scripture. You are not dismissing the teachings of your guru. What you are trying, when the scripture or the teacher is allowing you to raise questions, is to clear your doubts. So questioning is very much there. But what we have to have is Shraddha. Because Shraddha is no beautiful equivalent in English. So Shraddha is a beautiful word. So this we have to have. So this has to have. Then he's saying the Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tatparaha. The third qualification, first he said yoga in the 38th verse. Now he said Shraddhavan, 39th verse. Now he's talking the next qualification or the practice one who has to be tatparaha. Tatparaha here is sincere, committed, and immediately putting things into action. Not that I heard, I will see, I will do it later, tomorrow, maybe after when I retire, or after 2 years when I'm a little more peaceful, or I will have this, then I will follow. No, tatparaha, immediately. You take it up. I am committed. I have to practice it. It's not a casual thing I'm doing it. So what do you have to have? That you were going to the gym. Today you feel like going to the gym, you went. Tomorrow you don't feel, you don't go. No. Tatpara, committed. And you are not procrastinating, immediately putting this into action. So that is called tatparaha. Then the third one, he says, Sayandriyaha. That means Sayam of Indriya. So all our sense organs are controlled. Sayam. So here, that means all our 5 sense organs, when you control it, it's called Dhamma. And then when you control your mind, it's called Sama. So Sama, though it's not mind control, is not mentioned here. So basically, if you are talking about controlling the sense organ, as much is required is the control of the mind, because mind is controlling the sense organs. That's why they said when the eye is looking, it's not that the eye is looking, it's the mind is looking through the eye. So that means what you will control your eyes, you will control your mind. What you have to see, what you do not have to see. So this Sayantridya is controlling the India's sense organs, Dhamma, and controlling the mind, Sama. So you have to control that. Once you have to control that, what will happen? Because all the sense organs go for sense objects in this world. And when they go, eyes want to see the good things, ear wants to hear good things, taste wants to taste good things. So all these likes, dislikes, this come. When our sense organs start interacting with the sense objects. So, and that is the stage where we can draw a line, no more. Now I want to control the mind. I will see whether it is a good thing it see, if bad things you will see, it should not affect me. So dislikes and dislikes, if you want to get rid of it, so you have to control your sense organs and mind. So that's what he's saying. Shraddhavan lavate. Shraddhavan, he should be Shraddhavan and he will be Tatparaha, committed. Then Indriya Nigraha. That means control of the Indriyas. Then what will happen? Jnanam labdha param santi. You will get Jnanam. Jnanam of Atma Jnanam. He will get Jnanam labdha. The moment he gets the Jnanam, then what will happen? Because he is not saying that you will self-realize there is no more birth. Because that is a thing which you cannot prove it. If it doesn't get, then who knows? But he is talking about here and now. You will get it. What? Param Santi. You get peace. You get tranquility. You have emotional stability. Where you will get it? Here. And what is this? It's not Santi about this talking. Param Santi. Param Santi is supreme peace you will get. And also para and opera. Opera is this transactional world, and para is the transcendental reality. So that Santi you will get. That means that is completeness. Satyam Jnanam Anantam is Brahman. That Anantam, that means limitless. There is no limit. When you have that, that means that Purnatvam, that feeling gives that Santi he is talking about. That Santi, Lord is not talking about the pleasure that I took something, I felt happy. Not. That is not talking about here. Param Santi. That means you will feel yourself complete. I don't need anything in this world to make me feel complete. That sense of completeness will, get into you in every cell of your body. When you have that hankering after the things will not be there. What you need, you will only go for it. There is no like, I want. So the life will just go in sync with this creation, with these things outside, with every individual, every animal, every environment. You become a part of the creation. Not with, you go with your own set of software of likes and dislikes. So this is what the Lord is saying, Jnana Labdham Param Santi. And when you will get it? Achirena. Achirena means in time. Because Lord is not here committing that you will have it and you will get it immediately. If you don't get it, then you are going to blame the Lord. So I did it, then where is this? Blessed your happiness. You told me that I will be getting it. I will get the Jnanam, then I will have this Param Santi. So when I'm going to get it? You think Achirena. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. One day he's saying you will get it. But I cannot give you the time because that depends on you. Because you can teach a student. But in how many attempts you will pass, it depends on this student. There's a beautiful story. He was saying that a fellow, he was writing CA exams. So who are the CA? Anybody we have the CA here? No.
Baba, I am a
Oh, is it Tapasda?
Krishnamurti.
Krishna. Oh, yeah. So it appears, they make quite a number of attempts to pass it. Some may be doing it very early and some they take. So one fellow, he appeared for 27th time. That also he failed. Then when he was coming out, he saw a board. He's saying, Jesus never fails. No disrespect to Jesus, but that board is was, Jesus never fails. Then he wrote there, because he has never attempted to pass CA. So this is so so even if whatever you study, and they are good students, usually they take only CA, but it takes quite a number of attempts. So we will not ask Krishnamurti how many attempts he took. We know that he must have passed it well. But it's a bit.
I took 5 attempts.
Thank you. That is a good achievement. So because what I have heard, that's definitely good. So that's why the point is here. That's why the Lord is not saying that immediately you get it. He's saying achirena. You practice it, do it as per the scriptures, as per your masters, you will be there. Before long, you will reach that particular state of jnanam. Once you have that, what will happen? You will have param santi. So what is the first thing? He said, yoga sansiddha, be a yogi. Then he said, be a shraddhavan. Then tatparaha, bring in immediacy into the whatever the practices you are doing it, be committed, be sincere, tatparaha, then indriya control your sense organs. So this is the 4 things Lord has so far talked about. So let's see the verse 40.
Baba, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said para shanti, then you said something like apara and para in both the stages. So can you please again
Opera
repeat
is
about
here. Opera means this world outside, whatever you are seeing this. So there, because you took a coffee, you will feel happy. You take rasgulla, you feel happy. So this happiness, this is more like pleasure. But that is, that is of a different nature of the happiness you get. Because Param Santim, he's saying that peace which you get, that is coming out of not any achievement, that is the feel sense of completeness. Where from it is coming? Because that is coming from your real nature. What is your real nature? That is Satyam Jnanam Anantam is Brahman. Because you are all pervading, eternal. So what you need? That means now you have realized you are not this small, piddly little body, mind, intellect you have. So my body is sick, I am sick, I can achieve only limited things. So these limitations, when we are having this limitation, we always feel strangulated because we had seen that you to remain healthy is our nature. When we are running temperature, we feel suffocated. Similarly, if our nature is all pervading in eternal, and then we have a small little body of 5 feet 8 inches with 60 kgs or 70 kgs, naturally you will feel suffocated. So what we try to do it, let me go. I want this, I want this, I want this, because you feel you are limited. But then once you have this jnanam, then once you realize who you are, like I am, my real nature is Brahman, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, then that sense of fulfillment, because you don't need anything in this, because you are fulfilled already, you are full. So that peace which comes, that is Paramarthika peace. That is the Lord is talking about here, Param Santi. Is it okay, ma?
Yes, Baba, thank you.
Okay. So here, verse 40 is saying, अज्ञश्च श्रद्धधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकस्ति न परः न सुखं संशयात्मनः. So here, Lord is talking about, after he talked about what a seeker should be or what qualities he should have, now he is talking about in the negative sense. What is the thing which a seeker should not have? So here he is saying ajna. That means he has ajnana. That means he doesn't have the jnanam. If he doesn't have this jnanam, atma jnanam, whatever he does, maybe also, even if he is a good person, he may be a good person, but still he will not get that param santi. Because you said, no, no, I am a nice person, I am doing it, I am not harming anybody. But all these things goes on. It's like you, sometimes people get very, they get into that comfort zone. I'm happy, I'm hunky dory, everything is going, I'm not harming anybody, I am only concentrating only my things, all my relations good, everything hunky dory, everything is going. But that's not the end of life. End of life is self realization. And that's who is telling. The Vedas themselves say. Why Veda is taking? Veda is not also saying that you ask your guru, because Veda has taken for granted that everybody is, whoever he is living in this world, he is on the course for self realization, whether we know it or we do not know it. Everybody in the same one. So that means Veda has taken for granted that all of us, whether we know it or not, we are on the road of self realization. Even Adi Sankara also justified this, that everybody is there, whether you know it or you do not know it, whether you are practicing any spiritual practices or you are not doing, everybody is on this road to self realization. So, what will happen? Even a yajna also, that means those seekers, I mean those persons who do not have this knowledge also, they are also there. But here, what he's saying, but once you have this knowledge, what will happen? Your endeavor will be different. What will happen? Because once you know that I have to get this one, self realization I have to get, or whatever the practices I have to carry on, so at least you will do it. Otherwise, what will happen? You will be caught in that cycle of likes and dislikes, papas and punyam, and punarjanma. That will go on and on and on. So he's saying, so you have to have this knowledge. Ajnana is not going to help. So this is the person who is ajna, that means who is devoid of this jnana, he is saying sansayatma vinasyati. That means he is finished. There is no life. He may say that, okay, I'm enjoying my money. He may have tons of money or everything, but at the end of the day, he will not be having a peace of mind. He is not having happiness. So, what is the point in having all this? So, that's what he's saying. He has to have this, we have to have this knowledge. And then he's saying, Shraddha. That means if you have Agya and Ashraddha, he should not have. That means he should not doubt anything. No, no, that's what the scripture is saying. I don't believe. What the Guru says, I don't believe. Ashraddha. Ashraddha means he has no faith. That means he will not make an effort. So this is what. Then Sansayatma. Still more, the worst thing one can have is samsara means doubt, doubting Thomas. So you are doubting. Is it really correct? If I do it, am I going to get it? Is he my guru? Is he is the right practice for me? N number of questions, so everything you doubt. So out of these three, Agnya, Ashraddha, and Sansayat, these out of these three, Lord is saying the Agnya, Ashraddha, Sansayatma vinasyati. Nayam lokasmit Nayam, no here. Lokasmin means here. They will not benefit from here when they're living in this world. No para. Para means not the other one. That means which is going to come in the next life, or you can say, or you can see of another life in another locus. If at all we are thinking in that term also, not only you will not get happiness here, not in the next one or in a different loka. No sukham. sansayatmanaha. The fellow who has sansaya, that means doubting Thomas, is the person who is not going to get benefit in this world, nor he is going to get benefit or pleasure in the next also. Why Lord is talking about sansayatma? Because if you look at the first line, Lord said, Agya, Ashraddha, and Sansayatma Vinasyati. They will perish. So that means we have to have the Jnanam, we have to have Shraddha, and we should not have any doubt. So this is the what is required. Lord is talking about here negative. This is the negative traits of a seeker we should not have. And out of this, he is saying, in this loka, nor in the other loka, who is sukham, no, sukham sansayatmana. The fellow who have sansayatmana, who is a doubting person, doubting nature, he is not going to get benefit here, nor in the next life. Here, let's look at what happened then. What happens to the Agnya fellow and Ashraddha fellow? What there he's saying that if the person, let's say the permutation combinations, he is Agnya, when he doesn't know what a life he should lead. That means he has no spiritual knowledge, nothing. But he has heard about his Shraddha. That means he's Agnya. He doesn't know his true nature. He have no clue about what is our real nature. He has not looked into it. But his Shraddha is there. That means religious activities he is doing it. He believes it. Whatever the practices he is follow to be religious practices, he is following it. So what will happen? So in this life, he will not get peace because he doesn't know. Because he will be guided by his likes and dislikes. So in this life, he will not get peace. But because he is Shraddhavan, that means whatever the practices have been prescribed, he is doing it. What will happen? He may get the peace in the Paraloka. That means in the higher lokas, he may get benefit. Or in the next life, he will get a good life. But in this life, he will not get. Now let's take the other way around. A person who is, this is Agnya person. Now in the person, he is Jnana, Jnani. That means, or he is into yoga, yogi. He is a yogi. Then what will happen? That means he knows something about this Jnanam, but Ashraddha is there. He is not practicing anything. He doesn't have faith in that. He will not practice it. So what will happen? Because he knows this, since behaves like a yogi or he lives a yogic life, then he will get benefit in this life. But the next life he will not get because he doesn't have the Shraddha. He is not doing anything for the next life. So he is going to maybe suffer, he will do. In the first case, if it is Yajna and he has Shraddha, so he will suffer here and in the Iholoka, the next Loka, he will enjoy because he has Shraddha. Because if the person doesn't have Shraddha, but he has the Jnanam, he will enjoy in this life, but in the next or in the higher Loka, he is going to suffer because he is not doing anything. But in case of this Sansayatma, the person who is have a doubt, that means this life he will not do anything because he doesn't have the knowledge because he doesn't believe in that. And also, he also doesn't believe in whatever the practices are there because that also he doesn't take because he doesn't have the Shraddha. So he is going to suffer not only in this life or this Loka, and also he will suffer in the next life or the higher Loka. So this is, so the worst kind of a seeker is who is of doubting nature. So what a seeker should be having? He should try to gain Atmajnanam. He should have Shraddha and he should not have any doubt that this is not going to help him. Okay. 41, 42. Okay. So these two will keep it for the next class. So then we'll finish this chapter. Any of you want to share something or you want to ask anything, question or anything you have? Baba is there, Santi Krishnamurti ji, Prasant Baba, Ashok ji, Vikas is there from Orissa, Sripad Baba. Okay. My uncle is there, Piyush Baba, Prasant Baba. Okay. Okay. Anything you want to share, anybody, or you want to?
Yes, Baba. And as a addition to Deepak Baba's question, wherein he said, we know it, but we forget.
Yeah.
My next question was going to be, and when you keep forgetting, it's very demotivating, disheartening. Sometimes, I don't know if others feel it, but you just feel like, okay, all this effort, and is it leading anywhere? And then that doubt comes that everyone's still enjoying their worldly life. I'm neither here, I'm neither there. But then would you say this verse answers that query, that if you continue to have faith,
Yeah.
then you continue to persist?
Okay, so that actually there are two parts of your question, if I can see. One is, if I'm continuously failing in my practices, that is one. Second is, I see that, somebody, he doesn't practice, he is living a beautiful life, and I am practicing it, I am suffering. Yeah, correct? That is there. Because I could say, yeah, absolutely.
Roundabout that, yeah.
Yeah, so you have two angles. One is, let's look at the other fellow, he is not practicing, he is enjoying, and I am suffering, I am practicing, I do everything, whatever is prescribed, as my guru is saying. Let's be very clear on this. Whatever somebody is enjoying or suffering is by who has earned it. We have earned it. That fellow has earned it in this previous life, because that is the only, because the prarabdha is only coming from our sanchita karma. Yes or no?
Okay.
So if we are suffering, who is responsible? I am responsible. If I am enjoying, who is responsible? I am responsible. So if somebody is enjoying, he has done something in the past. If I am suffering, I must have done something wrong somewhere. So that part we have to be absolutely clear. Don't have any doubt that I deserve it, I have earned it, I deserve it, better I accept it. So that part we have to keep it this way. Is it okay, ma? Clear now?
Hey, Baba, not to grudge the other person's idea of enjoyment, but more focused on one's own path.
Because this is what I've done in the past. That's what the result is. Okay, so this is part of it. Now, in this life, when I am practicing something, I am not able to, follow through. That I am not getting the result which I expect. Possible, and it affects each one of us. So let's see why it is happening. Why, even in a simple thing as we are observing the breath, why we are not able to do it? Because we are mostly driven by our likes and dislikes. And because observing the breath, we do not give that much of value, because we do not know how it is going to help me or not. So that's why it is most of the time it is falling. And all our activities, if you look at it, all our activities is our likes and dislikes, because that defines us. That's our personality. So now, if we are sincere that I want to get out of this, and it will be initially, it will come, all these teachings will come to our mind only when I have already committed the wrong. But then that is also one, step ahead. If somebody doesn't know that whatever is happening, that I should have tried, because they don't try. If the person doesn't know and he's not trying, he's still worse off than us. At least we know that, okay, I am making a mistake. This is what I should have been doing it. It is one step ahead. And once we go on practicing it, there will become a stage when we will remember it before we commit the action. It takes time because our likes and dislikes are, one is prarabdha is deciding a lot of things. The second, our vasanas, because whenever we are engaged in any action, when we are talking about action, we are also talking about our thought and words also, because action is preceded by words, words are preceded by thought. That means thought, words, and actions all are coming out of vasanas. I like this, I do not like this. Where our likes and dislikes is coming are the vasanas. That means every act we are committing, one is the result of that action. Second is we are strengthening or weakening our likes and dislikes, our vasanas. Two things. You remember this one, correct? This vasana is also very dangerous. So what we have to do is we have to neutralize our vasanas.
But Baba,
How
is
you-
it normal to feel this sense of purgatory on this path? Because, you see everybody chasing goals of this worldly nature and you see them achieving it, let's say within a week, whether it's an exam or an interview or a business deal. And they've got that motivation, they keep going. But in the spiritual world, spiritual practice, yes, there is, you are not finding happiness in chasing that job or chasing that deal. You know that your likes and dislikes do actually lie in your spiritual practice, where you feel joy, you feel happiness while you're practicing. But then next minute, the minute you engage with the world, oh, you forget, oh, you feel sad. Oh my God, I'm not, am I reaching anywhere? The goal is so lofty that
No, see, as far as spiritual goal is there, that is lofty, that is one part of it. But as far as the worldly transaction is there, if whatever role we are playing it, that role has come to us because of our prarabdha and of my vasanas. Okay. If I am working in an organization has a goal, I will have a goal, I have to achieve it. There's no doubt. Because you are spiritual is that we should not have goals and we should not try to achieve it. It's not the case. But there, what was happening, the difference between, if I am working in an organization, I'm not in the spiritual path and I have to achieve my goal. So my achievement or my success is measured in the percentage of my goal, how much is achieved, whether I have 90% target I have reached, 60% target, or 120%. So that is defining my success or failure. Okay. But in case of a spiritual seeker, he will be doing the same thing, activities, but inside is different. What is the success? It will be measured. The measure is whether I get 120% or 70%. That it should not, I should not be very elated, or I should not be because I didn't get it, so I should be sorrowful or I'll crestfallen. It should not happen. But that goal has to be achieved because there is a role. That's why if Arjuna was saying, I will not fight, I will go to the Himalayas. Lord said, no, you have to fight. That means we have to go to the office. We have to have the target. We have to put in the work or whatever work we have doing it. Whether I'm a housemaker, or I am an employee, or I am doing some volunteer work, whatever it is. That means the duty remains duty. Because we are in spiritual path, the duty doesn't go away. Because we are in spiritual path, there is no target. It's not the case.
Correct.
The life will be same. What is only changing is your parameters is changing. success and failure, as far as I am concerned, my office will be looking for that. You have to achieve the target. That's why what Krishna is saying, you have to fight the war because you are the chief. How can you say that because of your grandfather is there, your master is there, you will not fight? You have to fight the war. That means even if you are not getting your promotion, you are not get some allowance, whatever you are trying, and you will say, no, no, I am going to take it easy because I didn't get it. Why I should get? I should put my efforts 100%. But that is the same case was in Arjuna case. Arjuna was saying, I will not fight because of this. You take these two persons out, I am willing to fight. No. He wanted to avoid. He said, no. That means you have to do. There's no second opinion on that part of it. Whatever my duty, I have to perform it. But the measurement of success, the criteria of success have changed for me internally.
Correct, correct.
Okay. And this will take time. Why? Because I am fighting against my likes and dislikes. I'll give you another simple example. So, like, when the Bastu fellow comes, okay, now he's saying, your toothbrush, just give me an example, not like they say, hey, keep it on your left side. Okay. You are attuned to your toothbrush being on your right side. Okay. Now, because Bastu fellow has said, you keep it on the left side. But how many days it will take, before you are taking the right hand to take your toothbrush? It will take quite a bit of time, correct? Because we are tuned to having it on my right side.
Ji.
So this habit, we're going against our own habits, which does not only in this life, we don't know how many lives. So when we are trying to fight against our vasanas and habits, it takes time. It takes time. So let's not get disheartened by that.
Ji.
And then whether we are also successful or not, that was we had also discussed long before. You know what is that measure? Anybody who remembers it?
FIR, Baba.
Yes, very good. FIR. What is that FIR?
Frequency,
Huh?
intensity,
Intensity and
Recovery.
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 Frequency. How frequently we are committing mistakes, how intensely we are feeling about it, and how fast we are recovering. So that itself, this awareness itself keeps us in the race. If everybody in this world, 8 billion people are on the self-realization path, so at least we are, we are 1-2 kilometers ahead of at least with this knowledge itself.
Ji, Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Don't have negatives. We will have it. Who knows? This life we will get it. Why we will not have it? Tell me.
Baba,
yeah.
may I share one something?
Yes,
May I-
Sanjuma.
Okay, so I was listening to this therapist fraternity forum.
Mhm.
So I relate after my journey with you for so many years, couple of years, I would say. So I can see the parallels, how they have taken bits and pieces from the scriptures and like they have structured in the form of healing modalities.
Mhm.
So they said most of the therapists are stuck with their issues in Mula Chakra and Swadhisthana, either
Mhm.
with the money, abundance, prosperity, that is Mula, or with the relationship with people. It could be our family members
Swadhisthana,
or
yeah.
in the in the world.
Mhm.
So they said they are able to heal everyone and make millionaires, their own clients, but themselves they are stuck in that with the issues which they in the first place they joined the healing profession. The
Mhm.
reason being because when you are stuck in this issue, you have to live in the life.
Okay.
And then I was I was totally drawing the parallel that you have always spoken of a prarabdha, which is prarabdha karna, you have to live it no matter what. Even the
Correct.
gurus or enlightened masters have to live.
Correct.
So, yeah. So the thing is, unless they said these therapists go in a profound, loving acceptance of what it is. So that is what you have been talking about, that conditioning, vasanas, where you have to live in the profound awareness of the knowledge of self, that I'm not this limited self, but we are carrying this. So it was very, very interesting for me to, I was like, this is what it is
Yes.
written in the Gita. And they are talking about some inner child issues where we get conditioned from this life or the previous life, where we are carrying these programming and we have to break down in therapy. They have a lot of therapies, but
Yeah,
when
because
yeah,
you have a lot of
exactly,
therapies you will have. You will
yeah,
have
yeah,
like you will look into the horoscope. I was telling you the breath, everything there.
yeah.
But if
But with
everything
your
works,
exact, yes, but with
everything
you,
works, then your prarabdha, where how your prarabdha you will suffer.
yeah,
If the
no,
prarabdha
no.
said you have to suffer.
So the good example was when Ramana Maharishi has cancer, he was healing everyone, but he told his student not to heal himself because he wanted to finish off the lifetimes of collected anger or whatever was there in one lifetime and get over with it. So that was a beautiful example. And
Correct.
and
Yes.
and the Gita, which the way you explain, there are so many internal shifts in the healing which has come with it, that now I'm like, oh, this is what they are talking about. So I just want to thank you, and I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Baba.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjuma. I think Tapasda, you wanted to tell somebody or somebody was saying? Tapas, is it?
No, actually, Baba, Krishnamurti.
Krishnamurti ji, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, but one thing is that definitely that frequency and the intensity, it comes down over the years. That is, you can really pay attention to it. And definitely you can see that the effects of meditation will bring down the intensity, and then the more clarity on what is happening around you and how you take that into yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think
It
all
would
of us, each one of us, we must have observed that. Definitely, we can see because when we look at all of us and individually, I feel we have all evolved to a large extent. But of course, we are still falling short. Gurus will tell you people are nothing doing anything of whatever I am telling you. It's like a teacher, it's like the father. They will always say that, hey, you are not doing it. But definitely, as Krishnamurti said, we are all progressing. But let's put on the efforts together and help each other in carrying out these sadhanas, because a lot of times we get into situations either we are stuck or we need some emotional support, or when you go in a group meditation, you don't feel like meditating, but then you feel all others are meditating, so you start meditating. So this is also a beautiful way of helping others. So seva and sadhana, they go together. That's why you will find our Sudhananji, always he talks about seva and sadhana. He said you cannot have sadhana without seva. So, because otherwise, how you will get rid of your ego? If you do not bend and you do not work for people. So, that is how it is. Thank you, Krishnamurti ji.
Thank you, Baba.
Beautiful sharing these feelings, emotions, and observations really help all of us. Okay, let's